Welcome to our new series of games. So as you can see, we're going to be jumping into HyperMarket Simulator. This is on PS5 at $11.99, and as you can see, it looks like it's a relatively small studio. They've got their roadmap there of what they'd like to improve or work on, and it looks like it's in active development, which is always good. If you are familiar with the channel, then you'll see that I have another series, which is Recycling Centre Simulator, where we capture one in-day per game, per episode, to show the progression and just give a kind of rounded view of the game. So let's just see how we get on with this. We'll start from scratch with a brand new game, but I would say that I have played this before. I've got about 4 or 5 hours into it, so I'm quite familiar with the mechanics. So at its core, it's kind of a supermarket simulator ramped up. So we're going to start small in this little unit, and eventually we'll be able to expand to the whole thing. So the cone here, this is our delivery point when we get our goods delivered to us. We're being welcomed to our new empire. We're going to start with a scanner desk here, and we're going to just try and optimize this space a little bit more. So we're going to pull this as near to the wall as we can get it, whilst obviously still being able to get access. The terminal is where we're going to make our purchases of stock and whatnot, so having that near to your till is advisable. So we've got space in there. We've got our till to make our purchases, and we've got a nice open queue for the customers to buy the stuff and be on their way. So what we'll do is we'll shove our shelves over here, which we can do. Not making a very good job of it there. There we go, there's one. And so the gameplay loop or mechanic is that we're going to spend our non-working hours stocking up shelves and getting ready for customers, and we'll start that straight away. So if we go over to our terminal, then we're straight off the bat, we're going to be given $260 up there top left, and we'll have access to buy a range of products. So we should have the cash to buy. We don't have enough money for that, so I've already skinted myself, but we've got to start big. So your stuff will be delivered out here. Pick it up and open it, and if you keep L1 pressed down, then that will fill up the shelf until you run out. As soon as you walk near the bin, it will automatically recycle the box for you. We'll get onto our next product, and what will happen is once you fill the shelf up, it will put the product and the price on the shelf for you. So that means that when you're restocking, you will need to put things in the same place. That being said, you can change that up. So if you decide that you want to move things around, then you can either wait till the shelf is empty, or you can take the stuff off the shelf and relabel it. But we might come across that later on in our playthrough. So we want to try and make this look appealing to our customers. And then once that's done, we should be able to open our shop. So it has started on a working day. Ideally, that would have started out of hours so you could do your restocking, because we want to get into the right cycle. We want to sell through the day and do all our work at night. So that being said, let's get the shop open by flicking the sign over. Sorry, we need to do something first. We need to adjust the product. So top tip number 1, where you can, round these up, because you will have to be providing change out of the till. So you don't want to do that to the point where your prices are too high and people won't buy it. So I tend to, it should be set for market price, and I literally just do the rounding for that reason, just to make giving the change easier. So at the moment, all the purchases are cash purchase. 245 we can live with. We'll probably round that up for 250, but let's get the shop open first and foremost. And again, with the gameplay loop, as you'd expect, earlier in the game it's a little bit easier to get through the progression levels, and that's going to open up different options for you, which we'll discover as we play through. So we can close the till, should we like to, with the square button. Obviously at the moment this is all us. So L1 to interact with the till. Top tip number 2, keep your finger on the L button and move the thumbstick and it will scan all the items instead of having to do it individually. We pressed L1 to take the cash, and that's going to prompt us how much change we need to give. So $20.10. Once we're happy with that, we can press the R2 button. Now you can shortchange or overcharge, which clearly you wouldn't want to do, but it is possible. So it's not that you can only complete the transaction once you've got the right amount. So as you can see there, I gave too much. So hovering over the same part, I can take 50 cents back out. Once I've got the right change, the till shows green. And the reason I say to hold L1 down is even when you're taking the cash, they can kind of waver around a little bit. So it took me a minute to kind of get used to that mechanic of trying to grab the cash out of the hand. Just kept pressing the L1 button. So overall impressions, I know it seems odd that I'm saying that when we've just started a new game, but I have played it for a little while and I think it's good value for the money. It looks like there's a good amount of scope and they add in kind of different things all the time. So what you can do is you progress through the game, you can buy different licenses which give you essentially access to different products. And there's various different profit margins as well. So we will see that in later on in the playthrough, but the t-shirts, once you can get them, are very, very good sellers. 10 cents for him. So we at least get some sales in our first day before the store closes, and there'll be a public service announcement when that's about to happen. Take your cash, sir. He doesn't need any change. Have a good day. And yeah, as you'd expect, the kind of play style and the gaming loop changes a little bit as you go through those levels. So initially you can quite happily just split your time between stocking up at night, serving during the day. You can, if you're running out of stock, purchase and go and place it on your shelves. Now the customers will wait for you, so there's no kind of time limit on that, but obviously the longer you keep them waiting, the less people you can serve.
Thank you for shopping with us.
So you probably heard there that we're about to take our last customers of the day. Actually, that wasn't that. That was to say that we had increased a level. Take your cash, thank you. 22.50. And actually, I think this would be good for, should we say, younger gamers? By that I mean you do have to use a bit of maths and engage your brain to get the right denominations out. It's always tricky, isn't it, to make things like that interesting. He says, as he almost gives the wrong change again, 27.60. So at the moment, yeah, as I say, all transactions are cash transactions. There's no card reader at the moment. Because that was on one of the, I think it's HyperMarket Simulator that I played.
Attention
Which actually,
shoppers, the hypermarket will be closing soon.
oh,
Please proceed to the checkout areas. Thank you for shopping with us.
yeah, that was a little bit more basic, and they did a VR version of that actually, which I've played a little bit. So we want 37.50. We should soon be getting towards the end of our customers. Our shelves are not completely bare at the moment. But if we can sell all our products within the working day, then we're doing well. 42.50. So, character models, fairly varied.
How's your day going?
And they have little bits of dialogue as well.
It's been a busy one.
So, yeah, it's been a busy one for him. 250. That's the end of our first working day. So we can leave the checkout, and all we've got is 2 lonely products on our shelf. Now, thing I would say here is when you're going through the tutorial, it does tend to want you to move fairly quickly. So it prompts you to buy licenses and to expand your premises really early in game, and honestly you don't really need to do that, because what you probably see is that we'll struggle to fill even the 2 shelves that we've got here within the early game until we've unlocked a couple of extra options. So you can get self-service checkouts, and we can get different shelves, we can get display units, all of which kind of unlock at various levels of progression. So what I would say is, second top tip is, don't close the store, because that will start the next working day. Leave it open whilst you do all your restocking and all that kind of stuff. With that being said, let's have a look through the menu. So first we've got our products. We've then got different display types, and you can see the levels there that are required for the different sorts of things. There's quite a lot of options there. If we go down the slider bar really quickly, there's even doors and all kinds of things. So I'm really looking forward to kind of change out the layout of the shop as well as the products. It gives that little bit of extra scope. We then have growth. So as you can see, we can already increase our floor space for $250, which wouldn't leave us much cash for products, and actually, as I said, you don't really need that space until later on in the playthrough. But again, you can see that we can actually move or expand up to 392 square meters. That's pretty sizable. And here's where we've got the agreement. So these are going to be all the different product type packs, which at first kind of look at like DLCs that they've added to the game, but it's just basically that as you go through the levels, then you can purchase them, and as you can imagine, they go up in price as you go. So let's see what the most expensive is. Red wine, 110,000. Sports. So white wine and champagne, that's the pinnacle. $200,000. Wow. But that gives something to work toward, because with the simulators, a big aspect of it is repetition and grinding. As long as it doesn't feel like a massive slog, then yeah, I'm all for that. And then lastly, we got our staffing. So I don't think we need till workers. I'm not sure whether you can unlock them because of the self-service terminals. but you can get people to go and stock your shelves. So what you could do is have some storage units somewhere in your shop where you can put all your stock, and then they will go and replenish the stock as the day goes. But that is much further on in the game. Let's get back to it and restock those shelves. We've got $404. I think for now, let's just get one of everything, get it back on the shelves, and we'll do a couple of days worth of sales just to try and build up a bit of a bit of a buffer of cash. Now, if you have stock and you got too much to put on the shelves, then you can throw the box down and then go and restock throughout the day. And I found that's what happened. Is it got to the point where actually I was needed to buy and restock throughout the working day quite quickly into the playthrough actually, but that means that turns into cash, and then you can start getting those self-service tills, and actually you could not do any scanning at all yourself and just focus on getting the products there for sale. So graphically, not the best, not the worst. I'm going to say it's a simulator. We wouldn't expect it to be ultra lifelike. I haven't really noticed any... Whoops, I've just dropped that instead of opening it up. I haven't really noticed any stuttering or anything like that, because it may seem odd that this is only on PS5, but actually once you start getting a bigger floor plan and all those NPCs going in and interacting, it probably is fairly demanding on the game. So what I'll do is, for episode 1, I'm going to do another day's worth of sales. Which shelves did I put the salt on? I mustn't have bought the salt. I might not have had the cash actually. So we'll stock up the shelves, do another day's worth of sales, and then we shall call that episode number 1. If you'd like to see a more general review of the game, or if you'd like to see that for any other games, then do pop that down into the comments. I've got quite a library of games and a PS Plus subscription, so I could probably have a look at quite a few games to give my opinion, and hopefully that helps you. We got 125.60. We could get more products, but we've only got this range at the moment, so just to keep this video not massively long, let's end the day there. We had 19 customers, so because I wasn't paying full attention, I've overpaid by $8. So we've got $125 left. So there's a little glimpse into how your store can look. So we're going to open up for the day because we've already stocked up, and wait for all these lovely people to come in buying our stuff. So there's a kind of nice bit of blurred background in there that makes it feel like there's a bit of perspective in depth to the wider area.
Store looks really good today.
Thank you very much. So let's get to it. Let's start serving customers. You want $12.50. So along with playing through this series, I'll be continuing my other playthrough just so that I can experience the game in more depth. I don't need any change.
Store level upgraded. Thank you
You
for
can hear that
shopping
the store
with us.
level is upgraded again. 26, 30. So as well as playing the game and making a little bit of content, I also do enjoy watching YouTube videos, and it is nice to watch people give all these types of games a try. So we all know about all the AAA stuff and the stuff that we're really looking forward to, and is it worth 60 quid of your money? But there's quite an extensive catalogue actually now on PlayStation of, without being disrespectful to any studio or anybody that creates something, a kind of mid-range
really
game maybe. That doesn't make that any less enjoyable. And I always like to see on YouTube channels where there's actually content creators and the developers engage with them. So I should give credit actually in this instance firstly to my fiance, who's also a gamer and loves a simulator game. We've got all kinds, but she started watching a channel called Roger Plays. So this isn't a sponsored video, and I don't know Roger, but he gives all the games like this a go, and apparently he gets a lot of engagement from the developers in this game, where he's kind of gives some feedback on things he enjoyed to see that might add to the enjoyment, and by all accounts they seem to have gone about implementing them, so you can't say fairer than that. So obviously for YouTube purposes we can't have music on in the background. There is some in-game music and I'm sure that would be fine, not that I'll be monetized for quite a while yet, but for me that would be quite nice, is if you could have some of your own music in the background. I'm not sure what that means license wise, but I think there's a couple of things on their roadmap, so it'd be good to be able to name your store and see that in your signage outside. That'd be a nice touch. And obviously this early on into the playthrough I've not really experienced everything that the game's got to offer, but it seems like the different zones of your shop are going to be the way to go to kind of make it more personalised, which I like. So rather than kind of just the shell of a shop and the gameplay loop, it's nice to know that you could kind of theme areas. I'm not sure I'd make it in real life as a cashier, although I probably wouldn't be talking to people that I can't see, otherwise then I would have problems in real life, wouldn't I? In terms of my channel, it's very new, as you can see, probably handful of subscribers at the moment. Really appreciate anybody that can help me on that path with a like or hit that subscribe button. It is free. And the dream, or the initial dream really, I mean it'd be great, wouldn't it, if you could make money and a living out of being a YouTuber, but there are kind of channels out there that just get a little bit of interaction with developers. They might get games to try out but still give their honest opinion. It'd be lovely to get to that point, because what I'm doing is, rather than playing for the content, I'm playing because I enjoy the games, because it's fairly easy to capture gameplay on the PS5. That's why I'm focusing on that type of area, so I don't have to spend masses of time editing, because otherwise you just end up with gluts of content that you're not publishing, or the quality kind of slips. So This is quite Ron Seal. What you see is what you'll get.
How's everything?
Well, the wood stains are of course available. So 36.15. I'm not sure where we're at in terms of the day, because I don't want this video to be massively long.
I like the music in here.
He likes the music. So what I'll try and do is, to keep it manageable, is have maybe a couple of series on the go where I just capture a little bit of gameplay per day and get it uploaded, just to keep the content ticking over. I'm not in a position where I can get a full-time gamer just at the moment, so I do play this around my working hours and family life. And I think that's where the diversity of games
How's everything?
is really good. It's that if you just want, particularly with the simulator ones, if you just want something not to completely switch off, just kind of something light, just to while away a little bit of time, I think it's good in that respect. You get a little sense of achievement as you build your own little empires. So I think we've probably pretty much sold out of all our products now. Now, ordinarily, what I would be doing is...
Store level upgraded. Thank you for shopping with us.
Restocking and keeping the shop open. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to wrap this up for episode 1, and thank you for watching, and I will catch you in episode 2 when these shelves are magically restocked, and then we'll see what else we can unlock and what we can buy to improve our store. That went a little bit higher than I expected at the end, so yes, I will see you in the next video hopefully. Thanks again for watching.